Hello, and welcome to another White Album 2 drama CD reading. This story is called Before the Festival, 24 Hours Together, which, as you can imagine from the title, most of which takes place during the 24 hours before the festival when they were on a time crunch trying to finish Tedokanai Koi. Now, the prologue is a little bit different because the prologue just kind of sets the scene emotionally. It's the airport scene. So we're going to go ahead and start from there. At the airport, a voice comes over the speaker. Haruki can be heard over it, crying. Typical Haruki. Airport announcement. Check-in and baggage check for the flight to Copenhagen will be closing shortly. It's time. Don't go. Don't make me say it again. This is goodbye. Toma! You have Setsuna. Be with her. I can't. I betrayed you both. I couldn't make anybody happy. I'm sorry. I know it's because of me. No, everything is my fault. Well, that's true. You're wrong about one thing, though. I was happy. Just a little bit. Kazusa. It's a sad scene. It's one of the most powerful scenes in the anime, even though it occurs pretty early on. It's like, ugh, even now. It's so sad. Goodbye. This really is goodbye, Haruki. You can't keep crying forever. She starts walking away. Haruki screams, Kazusa! He can keep crying forever, actually. Or at least the next 5 years. Kazusa begins to sob as she walks. Setsuna. Kazusa. I'm sorry. She walks away. Kazusa. Kazusa. Kazusa thinks to herself as she walks. I'm sorry, Setsuna. I couldn't be your best friend. I couldn't become the one you wanted me to be. Even though I swore that one day. I'm sorry. Oh, the drama. Oh, yuck. Yuck. What a horrid prologue. Everybody knows that scene already. Why you gotta remind us? But it brings us to part 2, which is actually within the 24 hours before the festival. So here we go with the namesake of the drama. The new song, the third song, the last number. Setsuna looks at the sheet music for Tedokanai Koi. What is this? Well, it's a new song. The third one, our last number. Uh-huh. Since I was knocked out, we only have 24 hours to practice it, but it's not just your fault, Kazusa. It was only this morning that I finally managed to nail the solo part in Sound of Destiny. What? The programming is all done already, and I didn't make the guitar part too hard. Most importantly, I think I made it fit your key, Setsuna. My key? So this is an original? Oh. Of course, in the game itself, this was a pretty, oh no, she's upset kind of thing, but at least we're starting out in a good mood here. Well, to call it what it is. Wait a second. I don't understand what you're getting at. Toma wrote it, the third song. I thought it might be impossible given our time constraints and was halfway to giving up. I didn't particularly care either way, but Kitahara absolutely insisted. Either way, right. What? So, Setsuna, that's why... Huh? What's up? Is something bugging you? Did you leave me out of the loop again? Yes. This is this was so funny to me in the game too. Setsuna's like instantly really upset about this, and then she's like, "Did you leave me out?" Kazusa's so blunt. She's like, "Yes." Just cut it there. Just cut it there. We kept this a secret from you, Ogiso. What? Toma! Kitahara made me keep quiet because he wanted to surprise you. I love how this is not just Setsuna, it's Setsuna and Haruki. Apparently, he was thinking of you while he wrote the lyrics. Huh? Hey, no, look, I wrote the original lyrics a while ago. What? But since you were going to be the one singing it, I tweaked the word usage and image a little bit. That's all. So... Kitahara wrote the lyrics, and I added the music. It's a song just for you, Ogiso. What a cover-up. What a beautiful and evil cover-up. Don't lie to your friends. You're embarrassing me here, Toma. That's because you completely failed to follow up. Now show some accountability. Sorry. Well, originally I was participating as part of a group, and I wanted to try writing at least one song. And there were 2 guitar players at the start, so I never imagined I would actually be in the festival. But I guess as a culmination of the past 3 years, or maybe it's just stupid, but I wanted to leave something like that behind. I mean, that's a fairly familiar feeling for everyone, you know? Before we pass away, we want to leave something behind. Whether it's a legacy of some sort, whether it's a book or children, like everybody kind of has that feeling. Haruki having that feeling as a high schooler is kind of funny, but it's understandable. Since everything up to this point has been so perfectly gray. And writing is my forte. Well, short essays, formula proofs, chemical formulas, chronological tables, translations. He trails off. I guess that sort of stuff is my area of expertise, but anyway, I wanted you to read it just once so that you could pick it apart. Kazusa here didn't change a single line, so I'm a little anxious. All I said was I didn't want to touch it. She's like, these lyrics are way too romantic for me. I'm not touching that. Well, maybe it's too much after all. Trying to finish this with only a day left. Setsuna whispering, how can I make you see my heart reflected in the mirror? Setsuna? Sorry, could you be quiet for a second? So polite, but so to the point. Huh? I'm starting my rehearsal. Toma-san, would you mind playing through this just once? I can't read sheet music. Sure. Funny that she can't read sheet music, and yet she goes to the karaoke so often, which does show like how high your tone should be and how low your tone should be, usually. Kazusa begins to play the piano. Setsuna? We don't have time, Haruki-kun. There's only 1 day left. Now, let's pull ourselves together and finish our song. Before the festival, 24 hours together. Oh, and here we go. So I do really like this because this part was skimmed over so much in the game. Obviously, it was really pointed that, oh, here we have a time crunch, 24 hours for the festival, but then it kind of just zooms over, and then it's suddenly the festival. So we didn't get to see exactly what was going on between the trio during this time. So this is kind of a nice little bonus. So, moving on to part 3, provocation and complacency, and so on. Setsuna sings while Kazusa plays the piano. Even if my love can't reach you, the day will come when it starts to show. Until that hazy answer appears, this love won't come alive. Kazusa stops. All right, let's take a break. What? Already? I'm fine to keep going. How can you be fine? It's already dinner time. Oh, Is it already that late? Wow, I'm losing all sense of time in here. That's probably because there's no natural light coming in. Setsuna is the type of person that's just unimaginable in the karaoke. Now, karaoke in Japan, I will say, a lot of people will book the karaoke booth for like 4 hours, 6 hours, and then just sing the whole time. That's not unheard of in Japan. But what is unheard of is being the only one singing for that long, usually with a group of friends passing the mic. But for her to be singing this long by herself is pretty crazy. Before we know it, the festival itself will be over. Let's take that break before you keep complaining about other people's houses. We'll have dinner, make it quick, and finish our part rehearsals before the date turns over. All right, got it. I'll whip something up then. Nope. Not letting Setsuna cook right now. What? But you're recovering from being sick, Toma-san, so you need something nutritious and easy to digest. A delivery pizza or something is out of the question. I don't really need to eat anything. What do you mean? Of course you need to eat something. How can you, care for others and tell them to stop and take a break, but then not take a break yourself? Don't you dare. Even if you aren't hungry, you have to make yourself eat. You need to keep yourself functional for 20 more hours. You're so pushy. Whatever, I don't care. In that case, I think Goodies does deliveries. They have all kinds of stuff there, so something should work, right? Yeah, maybe some lightly seasoned risotto or something. All right then. He gets up. I'll give them a call. Let's decide what we want first. Nothing spicier than ketchup or more bitter than carrots. She's such a child. Ketchup is not spicy. Carrots are not bitter. Her palate is just horrid. Horrid, horrid. Oh my God, don't raise your child like this. Actually, I don't need any vegetables. For dessert, pudding is the only option, but I want 3 of them. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that last part. Didn't you just say 10 seconds ago that you didn't care? Anyway, if there's no pudding, I don't need anything to eat. I can't believe you'd object to something so perfect for a recovering patient. Clearly, you two don't actually care about me. All right, fine. I'm going to order upstairs, so wait quietly. He leaves the room and shuts the door. So unhealthy. Honestly, you'd think I'd ask for 10. Great work so far, Toma-san. You too. Are you uncomfortable in those clothes at all? I mean, it's just what I wear every day. No, I'm fine. They feel nice, and the material seems really good too. Good. That's good. I didn't want to make you sing in your hakama is all. I guess the only thing is they're a little long and a little loose around the chest. This is one of those paragraphs where you're like, okay, this was written by a male. Like, girls wouldn't say this. What do you mean loose around the chest? It's just a regular shirt. It's just a baggy shirt. Shirts aren't made to be loose or tight around the chest specifically. It's either a loose or tight shirt. Oh my God. It's so silly. I know why they're doing it. It's the perfect setup to get them talking about bust size, but my God. Sorry about that. I know my build is a bit broader than yours. Oh my God. It's like one of those accidental insults. I wouldn't say broader. I'd say more balanced. Not a very Japanese figure, come to think of it. That doesn't really mean anything different. From the standpoint of a typical Japanese girl like me, it's enviable. Really? How do you get a chest this big with a waist this narrow? We don't do that. We don't talk about things like this. Maybe quickly making fun of each other, quickly making a comment, but we wouldn't sit there and like just casually discuss. See, look, Freudian slip. Discuss bust sizes. Forget about that. Why don't you lie down for a bit? Shouldn't you, Toma-san? You're the one who's getting over being sick. I slept plenty because of that, but I understand you weren't able to sleep last night, Ogiso. Setting aside how it is that you know about how lame I was last night, I'm fine now. I've got plenty of energy. Setting aside that you were the one who said we shouldn't keep any secrets from each other, I just wanted you to make sure you don't run out of gas before the performance. Yes, I'll probably be all right. I don't think there's anything scaring me anymore. Oh, is that so? You were shaking like a leaf during rehearsal. I was starting to boil with anger at Haruki-kun, but setting that aside, yes, I was scared. I was shaking really hard. See? And that was only a day ago. Well, I was alone. I didn't have you or Haruki-kun with me then, Toma-san. Okay, to be fair, she was not alone. This is definitely a diss to Takea, who was definitely there beside her. It was painful, lonely, sad. I didn't know what I was doing there. But the club president was there, right? Izuka-kun was doing his best to encourage me, and I appreciated that. But it didn't work. I couldn't relax. I feel bad about saying that, but that's just how it was. Poor Takea. Poor Takea. I know that's just me being selfish. I'm sorry about that. It's because I went and caught a cold. No, it's not your fault at all, Toma-san. It's because you were working so hard on composing this song, right? Ogiso. You were doing everything you could for the three of us. Yeah. The three of us, right? Don't start saying embarrassing things like that. I just thought it would be a little anticlimactic if we only had 2 songs. That's all. Pause. Setsuna looks hard at Kazusa. Yeah, because Setsuna's not stupid. The whole lie about this song being for her was dumb. Like, if they hadn't lied about it, it would have caused huge drama, so... No, I'm not going to justify lying. It was crappy that they lied. They shouldn't have done that. Why are you staring at me like that? It's not what I was trying to figure out. Huh? Did you say something? Pause. Seriously, what's with that stare? Anyway, I'm perfectly okay now. I don't think I'm going to lose my voice or anything. That's good. Since Haruki-kun came to get me, that must have taken a lot of nerve, walking around downtown looking like that. I guess so. Like we'd eloped or something. It's like they're purposely trying to one-up each other, but in a really kind way. It's so awkward. Maybe if it were the Taisho period, it could have looked that way. We were holding hands the whole way here, you know. You could have just called a taxi. He's not very sensible about stuff like that, is he? Pause. Setsuna keeps staring. Yeah, because Setsuna absolutely wants to prove to Kazusa that she's still in the running for Haruki's love. That's why she's boasting about holding hands and stuff. Which is not really healthy for a friendship, but they're the ones that decided to be best friends despite liking the same guy. Is there something on my face? Just a little bit of complacency. Huh? Satisfaction in your expression. It gives me a sense of the past 2 days somehow. If anything, I'd say I'm worn out right now, honestly. Pause. Will you quit looking at me so weirdly? If you have enough time to spend thinking about stuff that has nothing to do with you, why don't we get back to rehearsing until our dinner gets here? How can you be comfortable in this dynamic? Like, how can you be comfortable within a friendship where you're constantly feeling like you're not good enough? You're constantly trying to be better. You're trying to prove yourself. You're worrying that the other person is keeping things from you, which they are. What an uncomfortable place to be. You're right. That might be better for my mental health. I don't understand a word you're saying right now. Come on, let's get started. Alrighty. Kazusa starts playing the piano. Setsuna thinks to herself, "Hey, Toma-san, why are you so satisfied right now? Is it because you've been alone together for the past 2 days? Is that all? Or are you pretending to be lonely? I couldn't help but wonder why." Next thing I knew, Setsuna continues pondering to herself, what does this song mean to you? Could it be... Ooh, those 3 words. Could it be? It very well could. But then again, Kazusa having been sick and being nursed back to health, like privately nursed back to health by the guy she loves, obviously she's going to be in a good mood. Obviously she's going to look super satisfied. So, coming to chapter 4, of whom, to whom, for whom. Piano and singing. How can I make you see my heart reflected in the mirror? Setsuna stops. Kazusa stops playing. What is it, Ogiso? Are you getting tired? What time is it? It's... She checks the clock. Oh, it's past midnight. Suddenly it's the day of the show. Then it's already been 6 hours since dinner. I guess my throat is a little dry. I really like when stories tell us how much time has passed between chapters, especially in kind of a subtle way. It doesn't say 6 hours later, right? They just kind of put it in to the actual text itself, which is really cool. It's a good strategy of writing. Gotcha. Take a short break for now then. Compared with the guitar, you've got room to spare. Speaking of the guitar, where is he? Didn't he just say he was going to take a shower? You don't remember? Oh, I guess he did. You must have been focusing really hard. Yeah, at this rate, I'd say we don't need to worry about the vocals. Guess it's just a matter of having him do his individual practice. What's up? You don't look happy. Are you not convinced? No, well, maybe. Really? I'm pretty sure you'll sound fine. Honestly, I think you're to the point where as long as you don't mess up any of the lyrics, there shouldn't be any problems. That's not it. I feel like I haven't made this song my own yet. Yeah, because it wasn't a song written for you. So it feels off. No wonder. You're pretty meticulous, aren't you, Ogiso? Well, I guess it's true that you don't have as much experience as with the other 2. It's not a matter of how much I've rehearsed it. I haven't been able to absorb the song completely. Ogiso? Every time I sing it, every time I try to sing it, there's something bogging me down. That something is keeping me from getting into the song. Wow, you've got a really high awareness of the song, huh? To be honest, I hadn't thought that hard about the meaning of the lyrics. How could you not think about the lyrics? The guy that you love wrote basically what's a love song. How could you not have stopped and pondered him and like, what does this mean? Who did he write this for? What was the inspiration? Come on. Hey, Toma-san? How would you interpret these lyrics? What kind of emotion do you think I should put into singing them? What kind of... I don't know. It's not like I wrote them. Ask Kitahara. I couldn't ask Haruki-kun something that embarrassing. Were you trying to get me to say something that you were too embarrassed to say yourself? Please, if you would just Think about it, Toma-san, as though you were the one with this person's feelings. What are you talking about? So awkward. Setsuna begins reciting the lyrics. Are you pretending to be lonely? I couldn't help but wonder why. No, I told you I wouldn't do a word of that. Next thing I knew, somehow I wanted you more than anybody else. Ogiso. How would you convey your feelings to the other person? If you were in this person's shoes, what would you do? She just wouldn't, because it's Kazusa. She just would not reveal her feelings. We already know that. Would you say it jokingly, in an attempt to hide your own embarrassment? Would you make a big, self-absorbed show of expressing it? Or would you say it earnestly, straight out, with no frills, even though you felt awkward and could only say it in a quiet voice? Which is pretty much exactly what Setsuna said. Toma-san, what would you do? So, if it were me, yeah? I think brooding over something like that in the first place is ridiculous. Frankly, this girl is pathetic. Weeping over it, even though it isn't a big deal. Toma-san, is that enough? Look, why do I have to keep playing along with something this embarrassing? Then, if you're still going, seriously? If this person told you how they felt, honestly, without any weeping, would you accept it? That's the thing. If you want to be friends with someone who you know shares your crush, you probably shouldn't be bringing up these types of topics because it just makes everybody uncomfortable. Stop. Stop making all these meaningless assumptions. Since when do I have anything to do with this? I wonder what kind of person it is. The one this person loves? Hey, I told you. What do you think, Toma-san? I'm getting chills. Seriously, stop. I don't want anything to do with that kind of story. What do you think of the person with this love that won't get through? What if you were the person they were thinking of? Oh yeah, what if? What if indeed? I don't know. I don't have a clue what you've been talking about this entire time. You don't know? Your starting point is wrong in the first place anyway. This is a song about a woman's feelings. The one she's thinking of is a man. You think it's a girl's feelings? You really think it's directed at a boy? Of course I do. I mean, Kitahara may have written the lyrics, but you're singing them, Ogiso. He wrote this song for you. Well, I guess the character doesn't quite suit the school idol singing it, but... Setsuna's brighter than she is credited to be. She fully understands, maybe not fully, she like 75% understands what's going on here. That might not have been the best way of putting it. What I mean is, then who would it suit? A person whose love won't go anywhere, who can't do anything? Do you know someone like that, Toma-san? Why would I? It's not like there was a model for this song anyway. This is Kitahara we're talking about. He probably just read up on loads of romance stories and put together all the terms and phrases he found. There aren't any real feelings in these lyrics. This is just a program that an honors student put together for a general audience. It's a simple list of symbols put together to play on the emotions of the listener in the most efficient way possible. Honestly, not a bad read of something that Haruki did. She's wrong, obviously, but I could see where she's getting that from. So don't think about it that hard, Ogiso. Just take it easy like you always do when you're singing karaoke. Toma-san, you're a heartless girl. Huh? Maybe you just aren't aware, but no, that would actually make it even worse. What brought this on all of a sudden? I'm sorry. My honest thoughts just kind of jumped out. That's not an apology. I'm sorry. What the hell? Tomorrow? No, today is the day of the performance. This is no time for us to be fighting. But Toma-san, you really don't get it? Get what? What it means for me to be singing this song. Me, the only one who makes no appearance in its lyrics. This is so sad. Oh God, she really, really understands, and it's awful. And Kazusa really, really doesn't understand, and it's awful. What is there to get? None of what you're saying is comprehensible. Why don't you get it, I wonder? I'm dumb, okay? All I know about is music. It's not about being smart or dumb. Your feelings are the problem. Whether or not you're trying to understand. You really don't know? No matter how you think about it, your answer won't change? Yeah, I'm completely lost. After everything I've said, you won't make any attempt to recognize it? Ugh, God, stop. Stop talking about this. Let's get back to rehearsing. Toma-san, you were the one who said we don't have time, right, Ogiso? Come on, let's do the second one. Okay. Kazusa starts playing. Setsuna does not come in at her cue. Why aren't you singing? Because I don't understand these feelings. I told you there was no point asking me. No. What I don't understand are your feelings. Ogiso. Haruki re-enters. Of course, because perfect timing. Hey, I'm back. Whew, that was just what I needed. All right, the next... He pauses, taking notice of the atmosphere in the room. Hey, what's going on? Clueless boy. Clueless girl. Heartbroken girl. What a recipe for disaster. So, on this horrible, horrible note, we will stop there for now. So, thank you so much for joining me on this reading of one of the WA2 drama CDs, and I'll be back with the next part shortly. So until then, hope you take care. See you.